Welcome to Logos Bible Software, and today we're going to talk a little bit about biblical names and using Logos Bible Software to how to figure those out. I talked about how the various names meant certain things, and there is a biblical paradigm for that. So, this is where I have not shown this, but this is where Smart Search can help us. Now, I have this search here and we have precise and we have smart, and I want you to click on smart. So we're just going to ask it a question. Tell me where in the Bible, tell me where Bible names mean something. And I want to give it a look. For example, Jacob and Peter, because I know those are two ones. So I'm going to do that, and it's going to bring me up some passages. So here's this right here. We're going to click on here because it's going to give us some information. Now, when I scroll here, it says Jacob heal. We're going to look over here. We got two ones here. So we have this one and this one. So it says Jacob. It says, your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and men and have prevailed. So Jacob. Now there's also a passage that talks about Jacob meaning deceiver. So if we go into here, it's an accusation of Jacob. So we're going to come over here and we're going to look at this name, Jacob. Now it means Jacob. So we're going to look at this one here. And we're going to come over here. We're going to go into a Bible word study. So Jacob occurs three. It's a very common. So we're going to look into some here, and we're gonna. I'm a big fan of DBL Hebrew. I did not want it to do that. I'm going to drag it over here. So, okay, can also mean from the literal idea of heel, a man caught by the heel. So the idea here is that he was holding on to Esau's heel, or anything in the rear, denotes the rear guard of a troop. Gonna come over here and we're gonna this is what so we're gonna come over here and we're gonna copy the text. And we're going to paste that text right in here and see what we get. And we're going to right here. This one right here which we come down here, cheated, restrained, deceived. So let's look at some of these passages. So this idea of a deceiver, this is what his name meant, deceiver. And that is one of the meanings of his name. Now, Israel, we look over here, we come into Israel, and it means to strive or contend. And you got this clause here, for you have striven with God and with men. So when we look at Israel, it means to strive or contend, to rule. So we click on here and we see the various occurrences. So we're going to click on this text and we're going to copy it here. And we're going to look for this one, to strive or to contend. So it means to strive. It means striven. So in Genesis, it's the exact word for you have striven. So there's a nuance here with what Israel means. Strove in Hosea, in the womb, he took his brother by the heel, and in his manhood, he strove with God. So those are some, let's kind of, I want to drag this over here. Here. Now so that is one occasion, and we also have in our passage. So in our Ruth passage, there's a passage in Ruth. So Ruth here, where we're going to click. Let's close that out. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do Ruth 120. Let's drag this over so we can. We're going to go into Ruth 120. And what we're going to find, so she said to them, do not call me Naomi, call me Mara, for the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me. So her name, when we come into here, we right click. Her name means lovely, pleasant, kindness. So if I do a search of you can kind of see it. It's a little bit hard. So you have the noon, you have the ayin, and you have a mem and the yod. So this one would be noon, ayin, mem. So we can see the similarity. So if let me pull out a note file and show you the similarities between the name. So I'm going to grab me a note file, and I'm going to have my notes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy both words so you can kind of see them. So I'm going to make a new note here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the name Naomi, which is right here, Naomi. And what I want to do is paste it here. That's going to give me my straight Hebrew. And I want to copy the root. So this is your root word. And you might be wondering, isn't this the root fallacy? No, it's not. Because the root fallacy is where that we say one word, because it's the root, it means that in every passage. And that's not what we're implying. Our context is actually telling us exactly what these names mean. So when I look at it, apart from the vowels, so I want to increase this, say I want to make this into 20, where you can now see we have the noon, we have the ayin, and we have the mem, and just we don't have the yod. So and also the vowel. So the words are verbatim. All the with the exception of the yod here, which is this little thing here. And in this sense, the yod is not functioning as a consonant, but more as a vowel. So these are the exact same consonants. So when we look at Naomi and we click here, we do a Bible word study, what's going to come out is the words like pleasant. So it looks like every time this word is used, because this would make sense because this is the word Naomi. What we're going to do, though, is that we're going to take the root and we're going to copy that text and we're going to paste that into here. And what's going to happen here is that we're now going to have this one right here. And now we're going to search, and we have all these words that are now, so it means pleasant. So all these words now, so in 7 occasions in the Old Testament, so it means gracious, it means favor. All these are the spectrum of what this word nun, ayin, mem, or Naomi can mean. So all these are a part of the gloss of what this word can mean. So, but she's saying here that don't call me what my name identifies. Call me rather Mara. This word Mara, and it actually means bitter. And she defined, and it's right here. For the Almighty has dealt bitter with me. She says, don't call me pleasant, don't call me favorable, but rather call me bitter. And she tells us why, because the Almighty has dealt bitterly with me. So when I look at this, so when I click here, Mara, which means bitterness, right here, and I click on bitterly, this is a derivative of this word to be bitter. So names have significance, and you can use Smart Search to help you out. There are some other places, and it lists. So also in Matthew chapter 16, verse 18, and we're going to click on there. So I tell you, you are Peter. So Petros means actually rock. So there's this play on words here. Petra and Petros. So his name means rock. That there are other times where people are named other names as well. So like here in Esau. Let's click on Esau here. And what we're going to see is that the first came out red, all his body like a hairy cloak, so they called him Esau. So when I click on Esau, so his name means to be red. It doesn't bring up anything. Let's look into the Bible So it doesn't necessarily show here that his name means red, but the context shows us that his name actually means red. So let me do a Bible word study here, and let's see what it pulls up. And my favorite one is DBL Hebrew. That is by far my favorite lexicon. Let's go down it. Sometimes Strongs can be helpful. And because it's tagged in logos where you can see, so it says it's a form of the past participle, um, original sense of handling, the Greek. So here it says Esau means to be hairy. It says Esau's name means to be hairy. So these are various ways where you can find of to the various what the Bible names mean. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that this will cause you to dive deep into some of the names that you encounter in the Bible. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.